for the last few months, he's become soft because he's been able to rely on Mob for backup. And he's on his own now. He has no backup.
As of right now, just watching Chris Cage hold his own against Big Ride with no help from the Mob whatsoever is surprising. What the?
Unceremoniously throws him off the top.
Ladies and
I don't care. Say what you want about him. He's big, he's mean, he's ugly, he's a jerk.
But you have to give credit where credit is due, and Big Rye is taking it to Chris Cage right now. And Chris Cage able to do all of this on his own with no help from the Mob whatsoever. He is holding himself pretty well.
I have to admit,
if I ever get in a problem, I'm calling one of my best friends in the entire world. That's Big Rye. Granted, my brother JC Grunge has my back, but so no Big Rye. And you know what? Despite the fact, yes, we've had our differences, but you know what?
Yeah, it really should. It really should.
Big
duplex from the outside.
Ladies and gentlemen, Big Rye bringing him back into the house. And after what you did to JC Grunge, though, earlier,
kicks out again.
Ladies and gentlemen, how much more can he take? This is just a beautiful back and forth match. But after what you did to your quote-unquote brother JC Grunge earlier in the day, what makes you think he still has your back? You're accusing him of stuff that he didn't even know what was going on. For all you know, the Crisis could have been calling all the shots and making you believe that Grunge had something to do with it when Grunge actually had no idea what was going on. Big Rye taking the fight to the outside, picking up Cage like he is nothing.
Right into the turnbuckle.
Ladies and gentlemen, right into the corner post, and he throws Crisis back into the ring like he's a sack of potatoes.
I have to admit, when he first picked him up, I thought he was going for a fall-away slam into the entranceway. I really did.
But you know what? Despite as well as the Crisis is showing himself, I did something that nobody... I've done things that nobody's done. I made James Blackwell tap out like the bitch that he is. I've been in the ring with Big Rye, and not only did he win the match,
ladies and gentlemen,
I hurt his shoulder. I destroyed his shoulder.
Ladies and gentlemen, a DDT from
There was a reason why Blackwell...
Ladies and gentlemen, DDT from Big Rye. Both men are down.
And Big Rye were not in the ring for a while.
But you have to ask yourself, Jade, are you sure that with the recent change we've seen in Blackwell that you may not have your comeuppance coming through?
You have to say, with Blackwell going back to the dark side from the very beginning, I mean, Blackwell just going back to his old self. Do you really think you can beat the Blackwell of now? Does anybody think they can beat the Blackwell of now? The new Blackwell is darker, grimmer than ever. And he has pretty much put the entire locker room on notice that he is coming for the MVW World Heavyweight title. And that Grunge does need to watch his back. Now back to the match in hand. Big Rye on the outside. Referee not even bothering to start. Is he going to...
Watch.
Referee now starting to count.
2.
Now what is Big Rye doing? Is he
Come on, Grandpa. 4.
Big Rye calling Cage Grandpa. Ladies and gentlemen, Cage going to the top rope.
He didn't have enough in the tank. He just collapses, falls to the outside of the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Cage looks like he has nothing left in the tank whatsoever. We are now at the 21-minute mark, ladies and gentlemen, with the pinfalls tied at 1 each. That is due to a double count out earlier in the match.
I'm actually impressed with the Crisis. I don't even know how he's still in this.
Hey, Blackwell, this is for you.
Oh, everybody attributing to Blackwell.
6. 7. 1. 2. 3.
Oh, hard steel chair from behind the ref, couldn't see it.
1. 2. 3. 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, what the...
Josh Jada's left commentary.
Jade whispering something to Big Rye. What in the heck is going on right now?
I'm not surprised to see Jade. I'm thinking siding against Jade. Jade is confused.
What in the world was going on? What were you thinking?
That ain't it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Hard kick to the crisis.
I don't know what's going on. Here, plug it in. No, wait. Fuck. Got it. Go. Hold this. I'll take that. Plug it in. Hey, just do something.
I'll just drops it.
James Sinclair.
What? Big right for the
Sinclair's,
pin.
like, you know, dealing with some personal issues.
There's the second fall of the match. We're now 2-1.
So it is what it is.
One. Two. Three. One. No, we're not giving you. Two. Two.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are having technical difficulties. We do apologize.
And we're back up and running. I stole a mic from James Sinclair because I could do that. Are we good to go now?
I think so.
We're good to go?
Take it back over that way.
Hey, camera guy, are we good to go?
Yeah.
I think he says we're good.
We're good, all right. Then do your damn job and film the damn match.
ladies and gentlemen, we're at the 24-minute, 52-second mark.
We are at 2-1 on the falls in favor of Big Rod. Hard knee through the arm of Big Rod.
Ladies and gentlemen, the crisis taking it to the arm of Big Rod.
Cage is going to have to pull something out quickly here if he hopes to send this into overtime.
And again, we do apologize. We do apologize for the technical difficulties, but we do believe we have it now set up and fixed. Crisis just still taking it to the right arm of Big Rod.
Cage has actually been pretty impressive for the first time in his career. The short, non-existent one that he's had. He still believes. He still believes the mom is going to be something.
Well, like Jeremy said, don't stop believing.
Nice name drop. Believe it or not,
Ladies and
Journey's
gentlemen,
one
we
of
are,
Josh Jade's favorite bands.
ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the 26-minute mark. I do apologize.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
This match is just so unbelievable. I'm losing track. I really am.
Oh, hard kick to the abdomen.
This is impressive. But what does...
Ladies and gentlemen, a Faymaster to Big Rise. Now he's
You know,
back to what we were talking about earlier, just stealing moves from everybody. He just stole a move from JC Grunge.
You know that move, but you can't distinguish one suplex from the next one. What a Faymaster is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Big Rye powers out of the kick it too. And yes, I know what a Faymaster is. And I know what your sister's ass looks like.
You shut your mouth, James Sinclair. Don't ever talk about my sister again. You know, if JC Grunge would have heard that, you know what he would have said?
He had her too?
That's his sister.
Not by blood. Ladies and gentlemen,
DDT for Crisis. Oh, and he rolls it into a choke. This is a interesting choke.
I got no choke. I got no choke. I'm good. I'm good.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a beautiful back and forth match. We are now at 27.5 minutes into the match.
We're putting on, MPW's putting on a great show, but at the same time, while we're sitting here commentating, guess what? We have
a hard knee to the face.
A running knee to the face, ladies and gentlemen. Big Ryan's down.
So we can keep track of the scores. If anybody wants an update on the Green Bay-Chicago game, Green Bay's up 7-3.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to the NFL mobile app, Green Bay Packers are up 7-3 against the Chicago Bears, and and a knee to the face, another knee to the face. I'm rooting for the Bears. That's all there is to it. I'm rooting for the Bears. Hayes doing a running.
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen.
The Crisis Center.
Ladies and gentlemen, Big Ride just made a phone call to the Crisis Center. Big Ride going to the top again. The last couple times.
I'm Cage. He's Big Ride. Get him. It doesn't matter what the hell your name is. Shut your mouth.
Chris Cage to the
regardless of what your name is, you're going to have to pull something off.
Ladies and gentlemen, a leg drop off the top rope by the Crisis.
Clear across the ring. The Crisis is pulling out all the stops. I think he got the message that he needed to step up his game.
Bridge pin.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now tied at 2-2 And ladies and gentlemen, we are at 29 minutes into the match. We have a minute left to go. Both of these men have made 2 pins apiece. Ladies and gentlemen, this next pinfall will declare the winner of this 30-minute Iron Man match.
You know, these two guys, the way these two guys have been going, I don't think it's going to stop at 30 minutes. I think it's going to go past that. It could be a 60-minute Iron Man.
I think we're going to end up going into overtime.
Ladies and gentlemen, Big Ride now getting his second win.
And Suplex Nation is rising right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Big Ride is taking Chris Cage to Suplex Country, where the skies are cloudy all day and the wildflowers are blooming beautifully.
Just suplexing the hell out of him.
Ladies and gentlemen, another one by Big Ride. Ladies and gentlemen, the countdown, 3, 2, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, the 30-minute Iron Man match is now officially over. The series is tied 2-all. Ladies and gentlemen.
No. Crisis threw the towel in.
Wait, what is this?
What is this? What?
Wait, what is this?
Whoa.
Referee saying the Crisis threw the towel in at the last second. What in the... I didn't see the Crisis throw a towel in. Did any of you guys?
I didn't.
Did anybody?
We can throw a towel in?
This is ladies and gentlemen, the Crisis may have thrown a towel in. The Big Ride is not done yet.
This is good, bitch.
Oh, defiant Chris Cage. Probably the wrong words to
I would not say
Ladies
that
and
to Big
gentlemen,
Ride.
defiant to the end.
Pretty impressive by Chris Cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, a belly-to-belly overhead. The Crisis Chris Cage outside of the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is unbelievable. I did not see the Crisis throw in the towel, but the referee apparently did.
That's exactly what the Crisis would do.
And the winner with the final count of 3-2, Big Ride. Ladies and gentlemen, this match was just unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at the winner of the match, Big Ride. And you have to give credit where credit is due. The Crisis Chris Cage put up one hell of a fight. Oh,
You didn't know the guy
insult to injury right there.
All I have to say is there is poetic justice in this scene.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again,
Crisis laying there, no backup, no help. This is what the Crisis is.
ladies and gentlemen, your winner center of the match
The
once
reason why the
again.
Crisis doesn't have backup is he pushed the wrong buttons to the wrong people. The guys who are supposed to have his back, that believed in him, that stood by his side.
Ladies and gentlemen,
he turned on
the
them.
Crisis being helped to the back. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us here today at the MVW Arena. For Slim Jim Ross, this is James Sinclair and our special guest commentator, Josh Day. Jay, thank you again for joining us.
Not a problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, join us here next week for more MVW action.